Hi, creative friends. This is Soraya, and thank you so much for being here. So, this is part two of me working with Van Gogh. Isn't that crazy? I mean, just saying it is just madness to me in all of the best ways. So, I left this alone for a couple of days, and now that I've come back to it, I want to use this black space. Now, because this book is a book that is not just Van Gogh's paintings, but it's also depicting aspects of his life. So what I mean by that, and I've showed this picture before, is that, there are other images on here. So say this black space is not part of the original painting, but because I'm working over top of it, I've got to learn how to incorporate this part as well. And what I think I want to do is cover all this black up here with, I have these leftover pieces of scrapbooking cards, and I think I'm just going to kind of collage all of this up here. But first, what I want to do is just get back to this image over here and just work on it a little bit. I'm just going to build up my facial tones and lay down some inks and maybe just kind of solidify what I'm going to keep and what I am going to cover up. Now, I know I want to keep this sun for sure. And I think I want to keep some of these smaller suns over here and maybe some of this blue. And these are, I believe these are supposed to be cypress trees or olive trees. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know if I'm going to keep those. And let me just lay down some inks over here. And then while the inks kind of, dry a little bit, then I'm going to lay down my collage over here. And I think I mentioned this in my first video, but I want to go with the blue orange combo that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite color combos. So I think that's going to really pick up a lot of these. Like there are a little bit of oranges here, just a little bit. I think it might pick up on that and then complement so beautifully with the blues. So I want to try to work fast because it is a little nerve-wracking if I really stop and think about the fact that I am working with Van Gogh. I'm collaborating with him. I mean, if I really stop and think about it, it's kind of madness. So in all the best ways, but still a bit nerve-wracking. So I'm just going to try to work fast here. Okay. So while I just allow that to dry, I'm going to apply some collage. And there's a lot of greens in this spread as well. I don't know if the camera can pick up on it, but it's a very, when you look at the piece of art, it reads as very blue yellow dominated, but if you look closely, like really really closely, and like I said, I don't know if the camera can pick up on it, but there are some oranges over here on the rooftops and like right here, and there are a lot of greens as well, so maybe I can pick up on the greens here. And I'm just going to lay this down. And like I mentioned, the black is not part of the original painting. So I am going to be introducing new elements here, because like if I was just going to work on the Van Gogh painting, then it would just be like over here. But it's okay, well, if I don't like it, if this turns out to be a big mess, then I'll just cover it up. that's a great thing about mixed media, is I can always cover it up with either more collage or paint or whatever. But let's just see, what can happen. Okay. And my main goal is just to kind of get some stuff down because I'm not really feeling the black. I just feel like it weighs things down too much. And I did another video, I'll put the link on it to that video in the description below, where I talked about, how we can work in this way, incorporating the images on the page. And let me see if I can try to find it here. Anyways, I don't know where it is right now, but what I did in that video is I did think about incorporating the black, and the black did influence the way I was working. So, I mean, I just think though, with there being so much of the page already dominated with the, cool colors, I don't know if I want to keep the black. So I'm just trying to just cover up this space. That's my main goal here. And this is going to be her dress over here. And even if I cover it up with, say, orange, because I do want to start, I do want to incorporate the orange into this page here. I still want to cover up the black. And this scrapbooking, well, it's not scrapbooking paper. These are actually cards, scrapbooking cards. They are a bit thicker cardstock. They're not like the paper. So I do have to apply more of the Mod Podge to get it to really stick, because I don't want it peeling off. And I do want to keep like the blues here. So let me see if I can kind of go like so. And I'm also going to have to figure out what to do with the background here. And I think I might want to go with a blue, but I don't want to cover up too much of this. I want to allow a lot of it to show through, because the last series that I worked with in Connie Solera's book, Painting the Feminine, I covered up too much of Connie's work. So I don't want to make that same mistake. So I'm just kind of posing the question to myself, like, okay, what should I do with the background there? I don't want to go with a yellow. I really want that sun to pop. And I don't want to go with a red or an orange like I did with the last spread with Connie Solera. I just don't think it would work here. I might go with a blue. I might just lean into the blues that are already on the page. So I want to just cover up like most of this black here. And let me see, I've got this gorgeous piece of, it's kind of like a text, and I don't know, I might save that for like the last layers, but I'm gonna just use some dictionary pages as well. Now, this is not a cardboard book, so it doesn't have the same capacity for me to just lay, however many layers I want. I mean, I can still, it's really good quality paper, so I can still, I can still layer a lot of, um, different materials on top of this, but it's not cardboard though. So I just have to be aware of that as well. And just kind of, now I'm really liking this a lot more because I think the black was just pulling things down too much because there's so much of the painting page spread already that's very, very neutralized. So I just think that this kind of lightens it up and just gives it a contrasting, um, like just different like values as well. And let me see here. Now this is going to be the hair. So once this dries, I can go in and I can draw over top of it and layer the collage to be part of the hair as well. It's difficult to see it now because, everything looks like a big mess. But once it dries, it's going to be a lot easier for me to figure out what's what. And I think I need a few pieces of the dictionary page here. And and you guys, I purchased this dictionary over here years ago at a thrift store for under $1, probably $1. And it has been such a great source of collage for me. And as you can see, because it's a dictionary, I mean, there's so many pages to it. And I absolutely love it. Okay, and I don't mind if there are creases in the collage here. I just want to get all of this laying flat. And like I said, because this is thick cardstock, I really want it to stick. And I think I might also layer some of these dictionary pages over top of the cardstock here. And that's a great thing about collage is you can layer collage on top of collage on top of collage, and all it does is it just adds to the page. It builds up your layers. And at this point, I just want to cover, all that black up. And I think that that's fine. I mean, I have a little bit of the black there, but I mean, I can deal with that later. So what I'm going to do now is I think I am going to fill in some of the background with the blue. Like I do want to retain these suns over here, and I absolutely want to keep that. So I have to be really careful not to cover up too much of this, but I am going to just lay down some blue here. Okay. And this is just going to be like a first layer. So just so I can kind of, see what's going on. But I really want to keep some of these brush strokes here. And it pains me to cover up any little piece of this, um, but it's still there. It's still there. It's just hidden. And I'm just going to leave that alone for right now because I don't want to cover up too much. And if I cover something up, I can't retrieve it. But if I leave it, I can always cover it up later. So I think I'm going to try to do that, especially in light of what happened with the last spread when I covered up too much of Connie's work. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to err on the side of caution here. And now this does look like a big mess, but I'm gonna, once I leave it alone and allow it to completely dry and then come back to it, it's gonna be a lot easier for me to kind of see what's going on and work on it. And I think what I want to do is, I don't know if I want to bring in any oranges right now. I think I'm gonna just simply leave this alone and allow everything to completely dry, and then I will come back and work on it in another part. So this is the end of part 2. And if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much for being here. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.